Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a little mashup using Heffy Doodle products and products from Time for Tea. I love both of these companies so much, and so I was excited to participate in this collaboration blog hop with design team members from Heffy Doodle and Time for Tea. So I'm showing you now the products I'm using from Time for Tea. This is the Cafe Critters stamp set and coordinating die set. I thought this was just adorable and I couldn't wait to play with it. Also, I saw this new Slimline rainbow building die set and I knew I had to use it. Also in the package, they sent me these already printed out sentiments that you can die cut or cut into strips, and I thought that was really cool. I did not actually end up using them on my card today, but I had to show you them. I will be using this sun from the Flying High stamp set, which is from Heffy Doodle. Also, I'm using this Get Well Soon die cut that has the words and the bubble cut. I'll be using these trees from Heffy Doodle to add to my scene, and then I needed a little sentiment to go with Get Well, so I'm using Sorry You're Under the Weather, but I also liked this one, Sorry You Feel Rough. This is just a really Get Well Soon set. I'm also using this Slimline stitched border die set. I'm going to use that straight piece. So now let's get started on making our background. I am using the Heffy Doodle white cardstock. It is really smooth and great for ink blending. Speaking of ink blending, I'm using inks from Altenew, Coral Berry, Fresh Lemon, and Aqualicious. I'll be bringing out my Time for Tea blending brushes to go ahead and create a rainbow background. So I'm just using the three colors, but they're going to blend over the top of each other and create a gorgeous rainbow. I love these three colors so much. And this right here, I always think I'm going to stop and just use this right here. The pink and the blue with the white in the middle. So yummy. But this is a rainbow card, so I'm going with rainbow, putting the yellow in the middle. It's going to overlap with that pink and give me this super yummy orange and a nice bright green. See there? Now I do have a few flaws in there, but that's what splatter's for. I'm bringing in my sparkle silk and adding some sparkly shimmery splatter all over this background, and that's going to need some time to dry. So while that's drying, I die cut out this rainbow panel, which will measure 8.5 by 3.5 once it's all die cut. I did die cut it from some heavyweight cardstock because it's going to be the front of my shaker panel. Now you wouldn't have to make a shaker with this, but I love shaker cards, so of course I had to try a shaker with this new die. I'm just kind of smushing out the glue because it's on some really thin lines and I don't want the glue to squish out on my window sheet, which is right here. I'm gluing that to the back of this die cut. Also, I'm just gonna let it like kind of sit there for a minute before I press down on the acetate, pressing it into the glue. But if you do get some that squishes out, just take a dry paper towel or a dry baby wipe and kind of wipe that up. I have some Heffy Doodle foam tape. This is the narrower foam tape, 5mm, and I'm going to put this all around the frame. I'm making sure that the ends touch. They butt up against each other, and that's going to ensure that my shaker elements do not escape from this card. I'm using these little raindrops and some micro beads. These micro beads are going to help move things around and they're going to give it a really cool sound. I have had these for like 150 years. I don't even remember where I got them, but obviously they came in a huge pack and I love them for shaker cards. So I peeled the backing off my foam tape and then I can slowly, carefully, ever so gently place this down onto my background and listen to that. That's fabulous, right? I love it. It sounds like rain and it helps those little like sequin, like snowflakes, raindrops move around. My brain sometimes. Oh my word. Okay, so here's that stitch tree die set. This is Heffy Doodle's green cardstock, and then this brown is just like some scrap I found in my stamp room. Not sure what it is, but I liked the kind of lighter brown color that it was, and I thought it would pair nicely with my trees. So I'm going to cut out 2 trees, and I'll have one for each end of my card, my little scene. I'm adding a little dusting of olive ink to the sides of these trees just to give them a little bit more dimension and interest. I like doing that with my die cuts from colored cardstock. Just brings a little more interest to them. So I'll do that to both trees, and then it's time to die cut the sidewalk for my card. card, so I have some light gray cardstock, and you'll see when I die cut this, it puts the stitching on both sides of the cut line, so I can save that other one and I'll have a sidewalk for another card. I'm using industrial diamond ink to add a little shading to this one, and I realized it's not quite cut straight. I did fix that in my paper trimmer. My die must have moved in the die machine, or, maybe I didn't get it on there straight. That happens. This is the alcohol-friendly cardstock from Heffy Doodle. I'm going to stamp out all my images now and do some Copic coloring, and this cardstock makes it so easy for things to blend because it's the right weight. It's really good cardstock. So some of you have asked me what cardstock I like to use for coloring out my images, and I do love this Heffy Doodle alcohol-friendly cardstock. So there's all the images I'm using on today's cards, and for my little cafe, I am using RV14 and RV13. Now, I'm not going to blend the two colors together on this part. You can see I did every other section with the darker and then the lighter marker, but I am going to get some shading. So what I want to do is go back over that. You can see I'm coloring about 3/4 of the way down on that little section. Then I did the same thing with the darker color, and I came back and colored the top 1/4 of that section. And you can see it's giving me a little bit darker look at the top and lighter at the bottom. And that's just using one marker. I'm going to do the same thing here on this umbrella. I'm using BG 53 is my lightest and BG 45 as my darkest. And you can see I'm just going over it a second and third time. You can even go over it a fourth time, and it really helps add that little bit of shadow. I thought it would be fun to use the pink, the yellow, and the turquoise like I did for my background. So those are the three colors I'm mainly focusing on for coloring in my images, and I'm not going to use orange, and the green only shows up in the trees. So it just kind of helped narrow down my color choices, and I find it a lot easier to color things when I kind of have a palette to go by. I like things to be matchy-matchy also. So for the chairs, I thought I would add a little like interest to the back with some stripes, but kind of a tone-on-tone stripe. So I use the darker marker for those stripes, and then I'm using the lighter one to fill everything else in. I'm going to show you how I colored this little puppy because I used some different color markers, E13 and E35, and I think he turned out really super cute. I did go over it a second time to really intensify the color and the shadowing, and I really like how he turned out. For this little kitty, I am using a C4 to add in those kind of stripes, and then I'll use C2 to go around it. I'm not really coloring over them, and then I used a little C0 for the face. And then again, I went over it one more time. I really wanted to intensify the little stripes, and I think that cat is darling. Okay, for the finishing touch for my stamped images, I'm bringing in my white gel pen to add highlights to their eyes, clean up any spots I might have gone out of the lines, and just add some highlights. Then I am bringing in this silver gel pen, putting a straight line on the side of my window and smearing that out with my finger. This silver gel pen is from Pear Blossom Press. Amanda Stevens owns that shop, and guess what? She's in this hop too. So you're going to have to check her out. And now it's time to die cut out all of the things. I am using my Heffy tape. This is like a paper tape, paper on the front, low tack tape on the back. It's fabulous. It's also really good for masking. I love it for masking. All right, there's all my die cut images. They're so cute. I love it when they come to life after die cutting them. All right, I'm stamping the word cafe at the top of my little shop there. You could also stamp the word yum. It's in this set. You could stamp them both. Cafe Yum. There's a Cafe Yum here in my town. I've never been to it, but I hear it has noodles. So, all right, now it's time to put this card together. So I put my sidewalk down first, and then I'm going to start building from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. So I'm adding on that tree. But for my little cafe, I am gluing on 2 die cuts to the back to make it more thicker. We call that thicker. I also did that to the little umbrella chair. It helped them just pop up a little bit without using any more foam tape. I die cut out my Get Well Soon and the shadow layer, which I am dusting the edge of with Aqualicious, but guess what? A dusting wasn't enough. I had to go back, add another layer to really darken it up, and I love how it looks, where it's a little tiny bit lighter in the center. And I'm going to add that to the front of this card, and it's a cheery Get Well Soon card, right? I think a cheery card will help somebody feel better fast. On the inside, I'm putting that supporting image that says, "So sorry you're under the weather," because my card has clouds and sun and raindrops, which makes a rainbow, right? I had so much fun with this mashup. I really love both of these companies. I have actually guest designed for Time for Tea before, and of course I am on the Heffy Doodle team, so I wanted to show you just a couple other cards I've made with their products in the past. This one also rainbow. I had 2 rainbow cards, one from each company, so I thought I would show you because I really like creating in rainbow. So there's some other inspiration for you from both companies. And now it's time for you to join the hop. You're going to find a link to my blog in the description box below this video. You can click over there. You'll see pictures of this card. You'll see the details on how to enter the giveaway, because you can win a 25-pound shopping spree from either Heffy Doodle or Time for Tea. And if you're interested in the supplies, they'll be over on my blog as well as in the description box below. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!